Hear me, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm Al Lippman. I'm the mayor of the absolute best city in the state of Nevada.
Hey, all right. Absolutely.
And you know, I get the job of kissing babies and things like that, and introducing visiting dignitaries, and I'm always happy to do that. Tonight is absolutely no exception because we've got Dr. Joe Heck with us tonight as a visiting dignitary. And he's someone that used to represent us directly in this community, and he did it well. He cares about Mesquite, he cares about Nevada, and he certainly cares about the United States and its citizens, and it does show. So I was thinking about Dr. Heck a little bit, and I said, you know, I thought I had an interesting background. I'm a lot older than Dr. Heck, but then I encountered Dr. Heck's background. 35 years plus in public service as a physician, an Army reservist, a community leader, a volunteer firefighter, an ambulance attendant, a search and rescue team leader, and a SWAT physician. Also a brigadier general in the Army Reserves, 3 tours of active duty with deployment in Iraq, and I thought Dr. Heck had done it all. In addition, Dr. Heck has served us in the United States Senate District 5 from 2004 to 2008. Currently serves us in the United States Congress as Nevada's representative for the 3rd Congressional District, and with your support will represent us in the United States Senate in the coming years. I can tell you more about Dr. Heck, it exhausts me. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you United States Congressman and Dr. Joe Heck.
Thanks, Mayor, for coming out for that great. That's probably the best introduction I've had in a while. And I want to thank the folks here at Bella Pizza for hosting us. But I also want to introduce this guy here to my right, your Congressman Rush Party. He's been with us all day. We started out, we did a Caliente ending up here in Mesquite as we prowled around some of the more rural and scenic parts of the state, talking to voters. And it's not just as important, I believe, for me to get elected House of Representatives. He's done a great job on behalf of everybody up here in Mesquite. And as the mayor said, in 2011 to 12, I had half of Mesquite, this side of the highway, and then in redistricting, they took it away from me, and now Crescent has it. So I felt that was okay. It was actually trying to step up a little. But I want to give Crescent a couple of minutes. He's got a scoop, and his wife Perry is here with him. I saw her earlier. But I want to give him a couple minutes to say a few words as well.
Thank you for the privilege to serve, is all I can tell you. I tell you, as a mentor, the guy that has been great to work with back at DC, don't come any better than Mr. Heck. Mr. Heck works hard for the state of Nevada. I appreciate all he does, and his example that he has been. So it's a privilege. You get a chance to talk to me, but I hope you will support Dr. Heck, because I think he's the best choice by far that we can possibly pick to be a represent us in the state, representative of the state of Nevada Senate, National Senate. It's great we have the opportunity to Dr. Bill enjoy his presence. After that, I'm going to leave because I got another book that I've already spent the time in. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So as I said, so I represent kind of the western and southern suburbs right now of Clark County. I go out to the California line, the Arizona line, and the Tri-County line. But this year, I'm going to run for actually I'm running for the U.S. Senate to replace Harry, who's retiring. Feel it's a great opportunity. I think a lot of people have said, after the last 8 years of Barack Obama and 30 years of Harry Reid, they're ready for a change. So we can bring them that change in November with your help. A lot of folks know part of my background is the mayor gave a long litany of things that I've done. It's all about making sure, in my mind, providing the same opportunities for our kids and grandkids that I had growing up. And right now, I believe that our country's not on that path. That's why I went into public service. I feel this is probably the first time in our nation's history that the current generation. And my goal, working with folks like Crescent, is to absolutely stop that and reverse course. And to do that, we've got to make sure that folks like Crescent get reelected to the House, and that we continue to have a presence in the U.S. Senate. And JDI could have liked it. Quite honestly, the last 8 years, we've seen an economy that's been very sluggish, wages that have been stagnant, foreign policy that defies explanation.
Friendly
I'm just taking pictures.
or recording.
A little bit, but I don't think there's any sound. Hardly.
Are you friendly to Joe?
I don't know what you're friendly.
Like, do you like Joe?
Do I vote for him? I don't know yet.
So we typically prefer people not to record, just
I'm
because
friendly.
I would still prefer if we can record. I'm okay with that.
Presence a good friend of mine.
That's okay.
Alright.
That's okay. I just, as long as you don't post it, we plan
I
to
just,
post it.
this isn't quality enough to play.
I just, typically, the Democrats use it against us, right? They'll take one sentence. So, you're good. You're not going to post it.
What do you mean take sentences and use them?
So what they'll do is they'll take people's videos who are well intentioned and they'll cut one sentence to make it.
They're a conspiracy?
Oh, they do it all the time. Donald Trump, all my friends.
Really? Donald does it too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's terrible. Stop it. Should be laws. Regulations we need. We need regulations.
Not at all.
Really?
I'm not somebody for more regulations. Joe isn't either.
But you just said they shouldn't do
If you
that.
want to know what works
That's
and
kind
what
of a
doesn't work
regulation.
in a
First
healthcare
Amendment
system,
rights, that was a freedom
spend
fest.
some time in an inner city
Oh, I love
hospital.
Freedom Fest. I love it.
You'll see what works and what doesn't work.
You found some
And
freedom
then
rights?
lastly, in education.
I did.
My
My
undergraduate
First
degree
Amendment rights,
is
I
in
found them
education.
again.
I actually
Darn
thought I
it.
was going to be a
Well,
teacher.
yeah, you're always on the first
And I did my school teaching
I'm not.
assignment.
It's just,
And I said, you
it
know
kind of
what?
helps us to.
I neither have the patience
Can you
nor the
speak
behavior
out loud?
to do this job.
What do you mean?
So, but all three of
Speak
my
now,
kids are products
right?
of the
First Amendment right.
They've
I
all
can say whatever I
done
want.
different institutions,
Absolutely.
higher
I love when I want
Keep
to.
enforcing that over there.
I
This
served
freedom
on the
fest.
education committee in the Senate.
Well,
That's why we're here.
That's what I want you to do too.
Thank
I
you.
believe education is
But
critical to the
see,
future.
this is it's a private
Because if we
event. So
don't
like,
actually
if we're
educate
taking
our
questions,
youth today, we
I'll
will
take
not
it.
have prepared leaders
we'll
tomorrow.
leave the report.
Right? So that's why education is
Typically,
very
like people.
So if
Like
somebody
I
says, hey,
said,
these are my issues, some people say, hey, I
you
can
can't
talk to you
hardly
from
hear them because we're having a
not theory,
conversation.
not theory,
We
not the
say what
books,
he said.
but actually have
Is that all right?
the
It's all right.
talk
I'm just
about
saying,
how we're going to make
I hear you.
things better,
Or
not just for our
Democrats
state,
typically like to
So I hope I
take
can get your
people who
support
well
come
meaning
November. It's going to be a
reporters
tough race.
and they
You
take
can
like
imagine,
one sentence and
Harry
try
is
to.
in,
No,
you know,
the
very
Democrats
hard
never
trying to
said
make sure that
anything
he
about
keeps
reporting.
this seat in the Democratic column.
Maybe it is.
He's thinking it'll be a blemish on his
do?
legacy if
Pretty
he
often.
split when he retires.
Like this guy.
I think he's got a lot of other blemishes
See this
on
guy
his
in the
legacy to
corner?
worry about. But we're working really hard to make sure
You know,
that
and he doesn't allow
we're
recording.
not going to be able to
Well,
do
no.
that.
What he's
I don't
doing
know.
is
Just like I
he
had
records
your
so that
support
he
when I
can.
represented you in the
These guys
House of
saying
Representatives
something
during my
off.
first term. I hope I can get your support.
I'll tell you what,
as I
if you're
try
ever
to
at one of these
represent you.
Democratic events and they tell you
So I'm
not
going
to
to stop
record,
there and
you
I'll be
know how
happy to
they
take
can
your
help.
questions.
Yeah.
Anybody's got any?
Because that's against First Amendment rights.
No, that's not.
They're kind of correct.
Because it's a.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Vaughn. I
hear you.
moved to Mesquite 6 years ago from California. And I'm one of the people that actually, my life was saved by the Affordable Care Act. And, and I have friends whose lives have been really saved by that. And I know that that's a contentious thing. However, I mean, I couldn't get insurance because I had a sinus infection, doctor. A sinus infection, so I was on a horrible, catastrophic plan so that in case I was sick, you know, I would lose everything I had worked all my life for. So I'm a fan of the Affordable Care Act. What I would like to know is why the Congress and the Senate aren't on the same Affordable Care Act that I'm on.
Actually,
And
we
I
are.
really, well, no, are you really? Because
Yes.
I know that you guys have your insurance into perpetuity that goes to your children and grandchildren.
That's
It's
not
a
true.
way better policy. Well,
Actually, it's not true. So
That's-
prior,
did it change
so
recently?
no, actually. So prior to the passage of the Affordable Care Act, members of Congress and their staff were on the same insurance plan as every other federal government employee. It was called the
Okay.
Federal Employees Health Benefit Plan.
That, I wish
Which-
I knew that. I did
Which
not know
allowed
that.
you, you know, a bunch of different plans, Blue Cross, and you pick which one, like any employer-based health plan.
Right.
With the passage of the Federal Employees Health Benefit Plan,
Okay.
members of Congress and their staffs have to get their insurance through the exchange. And the exchange that we have to use is the District of Columbia exchange. So members of, if you choose to get your insurance through your employment at the House or the Senate,
Okay.
you have to use the exchange system.
All right,
That's the law.
so you feel that it's really fair down, all the way down from the top down to the bottom at this time? That's probably a dumb question, but,
Well, I don't know what the president does.
Yeah,
But I can tell you
right.
that, members of Congress, if you want employer health insurance, as an employee of the Congress or the Senate, you have to go through the exchange. That was passed as part of the Affordable Care Act.
you know what, thank you for telling me that. It's been something that's been bothering me. I had, my mother was best friends with the Speaker of the House in California, and the stories she told me, and I believed her at the time, because I don't think she lied, were that the Assembly and the Congress were just getting, amazing insurance for not only themselves, but their families. Really, it was like it really upset me, because here
Right, and it should be, because members of Congress should have no better benefit than anybody else who's working for the federal government. or any
Fabulous
other citizen.
answer. Fabulous answer, Joe. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Yes, sir. That's a great question. So the question is, what about straightening out the VA? So we have made some strides in trying to do that over the last couple of years. One of the biggest issues we found, quite honestly, was the fact that the Secretary of the Veterans Administration didn't have the authorities that he needed to actually do his job. When they had the big wait time issues and the double books down in Arizona, he did not have the authority to go in and fire the person who ran that hospital. Didn't happen. So we gave him that authority in law. We have continued to fund the VA as we've tried to decrease spending in every other cabinet level agency. The VA has gotten more money every year. We continue to give VA more money every year. It is not about the money. It is about the bureaucracy within the VA. That is the issue. When you talk to folks who actually finally get into the VA and get their health care, they're pretty happy with it. It's the process of getting in to get the care that is the problem. Part of that is claims administration and how somebody gets their disability claim processed and how somebody can actually get the care. Know that Nevada had the highest wait times just about any place in the country. So we've hired more people to do those adjudications. We have looked at, with the Veterans Choice Bill that we put out, it was to give veterans, especially folks that would either take more than 30 days to get an appointment or live more than 40 miles from a VA facility, to be able to go get their care in the community, and the VA would pay for it. So we are looking at ways to try to strengthen the VA system itself, give veterans more options, especially if they live far from a Veterans Administration facility, and try to get the bureaucracy, the red tape cut, so that the veteran can actually get the care that they've earned and that they deserve in a more timely manner. So it's a long process, unfortunately. In fact, after we gave the secretary that authority and he fired somebody, a federal court said that that law was unconstitutional because it didn't give that person due process. So now we've got to go back and try to fix it again. But I would think, before the current VA secretary, Bob DeConn, the VA secretary was then the General Secretary, who was the former Chief of Staff of the Army. And I could not believe that former Chief of Staff of the Army, if he didn't like what one of his officers was doing, he'd walk in and say, pack up your stuff, get out, you're done. Couldn't do that in the VA system. He was hamstrung. And unfortunately, he wound up becoming a scapegoat. And then they brought in Secretary McDonald.
I'd like to follow up on that VA question because I'm eligible for the VA healthcare system as a veteran, and as a female, I refuse to use it. I pay for my own insurance through other avenues. I would just prefer you privatize the entire thing, and even that part that they offer to discuss, that is such a hassle.